It is Thursday, July 28th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Thursday puzzle today, so we've got something more complex, perhaps, in store for us than we've had the last few days. It is the Thursday puzzle, which means we will have some kind of unusual theme. And this potentially complex edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Joseph Schwalbach, Joe Percy, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the inimitable Connor O'Neill, and the infallible Cynthia Toms. And I would like to wish a happy birthday to Cynthia Toms on behalf of her boyfriend Andrew. It is her champagne birthday, which was a term with which I was unfamiliar. I suppose this is the birthday when you reach the age that corresponds to the date of your birthday. And they are celebrating her champagne birthday in Champagne, France, appropriately. So that sounds absolutely delightful, and happy birthday to Cynthia Toms. And yes, thank you, of course, to all 6 of those benefactors, even those for whom it is not their champagne birthday, for directly supporting the Daily Solve and help making this series sustainable for me. I do very much appreciate it. That's my birthday present that I'm given every day by my backers. So thank you for that. And if you'd like to become a benefactor and get access to the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve or in a link in the description field underneath the video. And you can get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, by backing the Patreon campaign at any level. And last night I recorded 2 more Constructors Corner crosswords, so 2 more crosswords constructed by members of the Daily Solve Discord chat community. And you can find those yourself by becoming a member of the Discord chat community. It's free, and it's in a link in the description field underneath the video in the Constructors Corner channel. It's where you can find those. And they're very good. I solved a classic themeless puzzle, and I solved what was called a musical cryptic. So the classic themeless was by the Purple Rabbit, and the musical cryptic was by Frisco17 with Joe Adultman. And that cryptic crossword took me quite a while. It took me the bulk of the solving time, but it was very well constructed and relied on some, I think, more recent musical acts with which I was not personally familiar, so made it a little bit trickier, but I got there in the end with a bit of extra anagram time that I snipped out of the video. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on and on and on, but you can find that if you're a Patreon at the Patreon page, and it will go up probably sometime today. It should be up very soon. Anyway, that's that. Let's move on to the crossword. Do subscribe to the channel. I almost always forget to mention it, but let's go on. Well, no, I don't forget. I almost always forget, and then I remember at the last minute, like just now, and then I waste time blathering like I'm currently doing. Anyway, this is a Thursday crossword, of course. It was constructed by Bill Pipel and Jeff Chen, and this is a debut puzzle for Bill Pipel and far from a debut puzzle for Jeff Chen, who has constructed well over 100 New York Times crosswords, an extremely accomplished constructor who also runs the Xword Info website, which is just an invaluable resource for the New York Times crossword. Anyway, let's get on with the solve. You can see some circled cells here. So we have like some face creams and serums, supposedly. I don't know. Cure-alls, maybe, or something? I'm not sure. Cost for a commercial. Not a budget. Cost for a commercial. Ad rate, maybe, or something? I'm wondering if these circles are perhaps rebuses in which we enter more than one letter. Exhibit grandiloquence. Grandstand? I don't know. Orate? Orate could be it. What about this? ¿Qué? ¿Por qué? Why? In Spanish? Loan letter. Okay, this is looking good in this area over here. Loan letters could be APR, annualized percentage rate of a loan. Cost for a commercial. Add something? Oh, ad rate. Right. Okay. Interesting. So we have, I don't know, what is this? It's sort of a little hinge or something? We're using this circled O, the circled letter, to hinge the 6 across answer down and create ad rate. Interesting. So I wonder what that means. We don't quite know yet. We'll have to figure that out. Why did I do that? Doe, you might say, well, Doe, why did I do that? Extravagantly emotional. Rhapsodic. You could wax rhapsodic about, I don't know, this interesting crossword theme, I suppose. Partner of Parks, Parks and Recreation Department, or the show of the same name. Class now known as Family and Consumer Sciences, informally. Never heard that one before, but presumably home economics, which also hinges around here. So I wonder, so that's sort of domestic crafts and skills and things, cooking and that sort of thing. Anyway, I don't know, budget making, I guess. What is, so we have OR, so I wonder if these are going to spell, so I suspect these circled letters are going to spell something, these sort of hinges that we have here. Okay, character that's popular on social media, not ASO, sorry. Character that's popular on social media. What does that mean? Instrument with a bell. An oboe has a bell. Not a bell that you ring, of course. A bell through which the air flows. And most frequent number in math is the mode. So the mode, one of the averages along with mean and median that refers to the most frequent number in a set of numbers. And may the forces of blank become confused on the way to your house. George Carlin. I don't know this George Carlin quote offhand. Over, above. Oh, may the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house. Okay. I'm not sure what the context of that is. Close behind as a canine could be to heel. Your dog is staying to heel. And a character that's popular on social media is a hashtag. Yeah, it's interesting. Hashtag seems to have, in a relatively short period of time, the word was created, I think, obviously not long ago, to represent the combination of the hash character and then a word following it, and that itself is the hashtag, the combination of those things. But it seems as though in the last maybe, 5 years or so, hashtag itself has become a reference to just the hash character that is sort of the prefix to the hashtag. I don't really know why that is, but that seems to have become the case. I suppose just through familiarity of speech, which is how most things in linguistics occur. Okay, let's see. Ritzy is posh, high-end, wealthy. Dearest partner is your nearest and dearest. And that's a nice clue in that nearest is both the partner word of the word dearest, nearest and dearest, but also you could describe your dearest partner as your nearest. Okay, sidestep is to avoid something maybe. And a lease is rent something. Plant used to make mezcal is agave. And so lease does look like rent something, and then has a novel if you have a novel experience in a punny sort of way with that question mark, the pun, that person reads. That person has a novel experience. That person reads in a punny sort of way. Rumble in the Jungle promoter. So, yeah, famous boxing match. So, wasn't Don King a boxing promoter? So here we have Don King hinging around our circle here, and then scraping out is eking out, as in an existence, or scraping out a living, eking out a living, that sort of thing. Port of Alaska. Sitka is a port in Alaska. That's probably the answer. That could be a tough one if you didn't happen to have that piece of knowledge. Finish off is to... What? What about this? Scottish noble in Macbeth. Why can't I remember any of this? Fastidious roommate of classic TV. Oh, this is also in my head and I can't get it out. It's The Odd Couple with... Well... Was it Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, or am I thinking of something else? But that's not the actual character's name. I can't think of any of these things. Let's keep going. Okay. Go ahead, try this. Have one, maybe? And of course, again, we have a hinge, so we're hinging around. And then an abstainer's amount is none. An abstainer would have none of whatever it is they're denying to themselves. Gal in Hollywood. Gal Gadot is an actress. And Courage Under Fire. Oops, spelled wrong. Sorry, I spelled that as in Waiting for Godot. Courage Under Fire is Valor. And Cheese Wrapped in Wax is Edam, a Dutch cheese. And Word with Memory or Bike, memory lane or a bike lane. And what you get when you put your hands together is 10. That's clever. And then a sign is an omen. Oh, Festidi. Oh, Felix Unger was the character's name from The Odd Couple, which was a Neil Simon play, I think, originally. Okay. Oh, Edgar, Scottish noble in Macbeth, right? Or am I getting that wrong? Why can't I bring this to mind? Finish off. I don't know. Crown covering. Oh, enamel over teeth. Creator of Heffalumps and Woozles. So those Heffalumps and Woozles from Winnie the Pooh. So A.A. Milne, the creator of Winnie the Pooh. And the Beast for the U.S. president, for one. I think that's the name of the U.S. president's limo, or the nickname for it anyway. Opposite of ruddy. Pale. So if you're ruddy, you're sort of got a kind of reddish face. What is it? It has options for CC and BCC email. So carbon copy and blind carbon copy, way to include somebody else on an email, either overtly or surreptitiously. And to quell as concerns is to what? Allay one's concerns, to quell them. There we go. To boot is all, oh, no. Oh, we have the hinge here, right. So to boot is as well, yes, as well, there we go. Okay, so we have, I don't know, even more hinges to boot as well. And just peachy is swell, there we go. So let's see, can we infer anything about what we're spelling here? O-R-N-E, corners. There we go. Indeed, they are corners. Oops. So just going to write those in because I'm pretty sure that's correct. And let's get back to here. Oh, opposite of ruddy is sallow. So you could have a sallow face, a sort of pale, wan visage complexion. First name on the Supreme Court, Sonia, is a... So often when you see first name, it looks like it's meant to be a kind of the single most important name in a given thing. Sometimes it kind of means that. Usually what it means is this is a notable name, but literally a first name, a given name. So Sonia is literally a first name of a member of the Supreme Court in the United States. And true blue is loyal, a synonym. One way to administer a tranquilizer, a stun gun, perhaps? It doesn't look right, does it? What about this corner here? Military move. Oh, and then it'll be around the corner as well. 1985 benefit concert watched by nearly 2 billion people. Oh, Live Aid. And then a military move is a raid. Okay, fair enough. So one way to administer a tranquilizer. No, I'm not seeing it, sorry. Electronics whiz is a techie, maybe? Not sure about that. Let's check the crosses. Chaucer chapter. So Chaucer, most famous for the Canterbury Tales, and each chapter of the Canterbury Tales was the tale of one of the pilgrims on the way to Canterbury. Chimp who orbited Earth in 1961. Oh, is it Enos, maybe? Seen this before. Not sure. Let's check the crosses. Sing along. There we go. That looks right. And newsroom positions are desks, I suppose. Desks in a newsroom. Is it as simple as that? No good Nick is bad. I think of a no good Nick as a noun rather than an adjective. Could you use bad as a noun as well? I'm not sure. Let's try this out and see. Go kaput without is conk out. Person could conk out as well. Engaged in some amorous behavior. Okay. Oh no. It's not. It's a cad. I see. It's a cad. Right. You're a no good Nick. You're a cad. Someone who's sort of a rascal. And so those who engaged in some amorous behavior could be said to have canoodled. And with let's see, C63 down, and with 62 down, end of a college address. Oh, it's sort of backwards. That was throwing me off, right? I see. So 63 is the beginning. So it's .edu, the end of an internet address for a school. So URL. Swear words could be I do, I swear, and the question mark indicates this is a bit of a pun. So that's why this is a vow, marriage vow, rather than, I don't know, profanity, which I guess is what you'd think when you see swear words. With the circled, oh, here we go. Here's part of our revealer, I suppose. With the circled letters, a hint to solving 7 across clues. Cut corners. There we go. That's our, look at that. An incredibly tidy revealer. Just the little tiny 3-letter word here that along with the corners that are themselves part of the theme explains the theme of cutting corners. Very clever. And one of many in Indiana Jones's possession. Relic. I sort of take issue with that. The whole point of Indiana Jones is that he always says this belongs in a museum. It's not that he keeps them for himself. I mean, you could separately take issue with Indiana Jones putting these things in museums rather than, I don't know, perhaps they belong in other places in their actual countries of origin. That's fair enough, but I don't think you could claim he keeps them for himself, at least not to the point that he has many in his possession, I wouldn't think, but I don't know. Maybe he does. Oh, I never deleted this N, right. Oh, a dart gun maybe is the way to administer a tranquilizer. That looks much tidier. So, right, to lease something is to rent it out. Finish off. What am I missing here? Scraping out, eking. Rent out. I think this is Felix Unger, I think is the character's name. Fastidious roommate of classic TV. Oh, Angus is the Scottish noble in Macbeth, sorry. So what did I get wrong? Oh, Sitka I spelled incorrectly. Port of Alaska, Sitka, sorry about that. I shouldn't have put that right in. I should have remembered that I sort of remembered this to say, but maybe not necessarily to write. Okay, that's a tough cross, potentially, Sitka and Angus. Oh, wait, what was this? Oh, finish off, do in, right. To do somebody in, to, I don't know, murder them, potentially, to finish them off. Okay. And one's always taking cover are, bed hogs. You're hogging the covers in bed, literally. And again, that has a question mark indicating a bit of punnery going on there. So what can we look at here? Largest TV network in the world by number of employees. The BBC, I would guess. Does that work with this? Antilles resident. Yes, Carib, resident of the Caribbean. And a pear cultivar. Oh, there's a type of pear that's a Bosc pear, I think. Is that how you say that? Bosc? Yeah. It's something. I mean, it's spelled this way. It's something like that. End of Arthur Miller's The Crucible, e.g., is Act 4. There we go. Straightforward enough. And Tube Rider, e.g. Do they mean the tube, the subway system here in London? I'm not sure if that's what that means. Tube Rider. Maybe not. Doesn't seem like it does. Oh, no, it is. Brit. Okay, sorry. There we go. It did mean that. I just had to think about it a little harder. And then word of mouth is oral. I don't quite see exactly how that corresponds. So oral is an adjective, and word of mouth seems to me to be a sort of noun, a general concept. Why is that? I mean, obviously I see the general connection between the two, but I don't quite see how the part of speech matches. I guess there must be a way to use. I mean, you could say an oral exam. You could say an oral, meaning an oral exam, and that's a noun. But you wouldn't say a word of mouth in that same. I'm not sure I quite get it, but yeah. Anyway, Cortana is to Microsoft as Siri is to Apple. So these are the kind of robot assistants that these companies run. And then putting in an enclosure is whatting, something ing. I mean, it'll end with ing. And then rouse to action is stir or bestir, maybe. If you bestir someone, you rouse them to action, possibly. I'm not completely confident about that, so let's check the crosses. Actress Uzo, not sure. Montana once. I don't know. Territory or something? I'm not sure exactly. Ankle bones or tarsi, I think. Is that right? Something to do with your foot area, tarsi. Still a contender, you're in it, you're still a contender. And like some face creams and serums supposedly are. Oh, right, this is going to go down here. I completely forgot about that. So anti-something? Anti-sting? Anti-what? Does anti work? Montana once and actress Uzo, I'm not sure about either of those. I'm not sure about this either. WNBA star Taurasi with 5 Olympic gold medals. Not the person to ask about sports knowledge. And then strip as a ship to... I mean, ridiculously strip would fit in here, which obviously isn't the answer, but it's tantalizing given it fits. NL West team on scoreboards. Stop asking me sports questions. Oh boy, this is tough. Putting in an enclosure. Strip as a ship. De-rig maybe or something? It's not really stripping. I mean, maybe it is. Would a G here, if this were de-rig or unrig or something? Anti-cage? Oh, I'm an idiot. We have to ignore the corner cell. We have to cut the corner. I kept trying to think. I was thinking of like anti-caking and things like that. But no, it's anti-aging. Sorry, that would have been much simpler if I actually remembered how the puzzle works, wouldn't it? So this does, I guess this is unrig or de-rig. I don't know which. This looks like it could be Diana, maybe? Diana Taurasi? Would that work here? Montana once is... What does that mean? Don't know. Okay, well, let's look at these. So de-rig, this looks really difficult with that DB. Unrig, this looks better. I mean, Aruba, maybe? If this were Diana, I'm just sort of now going out on a limb here. Aduba, oh, that actually kind of sounds familiar, actually, now that I think about it. So this could be Arizona, maybe? And then Niner, what is, oh, sorry. Is that, okay, so here's just a tiny scrap of sports association. Is that Joe Montana and the 49ers? I bet that's the answer. It is. All right, not my finest hour at the end there. This whole little area was extremely difficult for me. Actually, quite ironically, it was the last corner that did me in. I couldn't cut this corner. I really had to dive into it. So yes, a very clever theme. A very clever theme that is very self-contained. So we had our revealer was just this one little well, the only answer that was the revealer was this one little 3-letter word, cut, that combines with corners, and that in itself explains what's going on in those very clues that contain that revealer. It's just very tightly constructed. It's very I don't know, self-referential, I suppose. Very well done. So we had our anti-aging cutting the C, ad rate cutting the O, home ec cutting the R, Don King cutting the E, oops, I skipped over have one cutting the N, Live Aid cutting the R, and as well cutting the S. Very clever. So well done to Bill Pipel for his debut puzzle and Jeff Chen for his far from debut puzzle. A nice theme, and I think in general what was a relatively smooth solving puzzle, but I think challenging throughout. I mean, I think this was certainly a step up from Monday to Wednesday, which I think I found, and I think from what I could tell, members of the Daily Solve Discord chat server seemed to agree Monday to Wednesday were all pretty approachable for their days. Several people in there, I think, got personal best times for those various days, which is always fun to see. And today, I think, is maybe a reversion to the mean. So not the mode, another form of average, but yeah, I think a little bit trickier today. And a fun puzzle. So let's move on to some clues from yesterday's puzzle, which I just realized I forgot to sort of pre-select. So I'm going straight to the source today, and I'm loading up the actual comments on the video. So what do we have? Oh yes, this was interesting. So Michelle McBride Charpentier said, "Scaredy pants." The phrase "scaredy pants," which came up in the puzzle yesterday and was surprising to me relative to, I think, the more commonly used "scaredy cat." Michelle McBride Charpentier pegged this as an invention of a 1999 episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, although because saying Googling the phrase only returns results about the show. But Cody and Kathleen Quinn both said they used it in their childhood. Cody says, "We used it as an epithet as children in the 1970s, and Kathleen Quinn says, "We did as well in the 1950s and 60s. And someone else suggested, I can't find where this was, so perhaps it wasn't in the comments, maybe it was somewhere else, but I did see someone maybe in the Discord say they thought perhaps it was a Britishism because I was less familiar with it. I don't think so. I've searched. I did a fair amount myself of searching around, and I think it's simply less commonly used than scaredy cat. I think that's about it. I don't think there's any other specific explanation as to why I didn't know it as well. But I searched for the phrase extensively, including in British dictionaries that I often consult, and didn't appear in several British dictionaries, although scaredy cat did. So I don't think it's a Britishism specifically. I think it's just a less commonly used phrase. That's about it. if you search for it and tell Google to expressly include or exclude mentions of SpongeBob SquarePants on the same page, there are, in keeping with what Michelle mentioned, there are more results that include references to the SpongeBob episode than there are without. Whereas if you search for Scaredy Cat, there is an overwhelming number of results, regardless of the SpongeBob SquarePants connection. So I think Scaredy Pants is just less commonly used, and that's all there is to it. All right, what else do we have here? Yes, this was a big oversight on my part. James Draper said, regarding the theme, you missed that Black Hat was presumably also a theme answer. This was part of our phrases involving articles of clothing. And Bradley, this was also the person who said perhaps scaredy pants is a more common phrase here in the UK. Anyway, so I've already addressed that. But yesterday's theme was the one that had a number of references to phrases with articles of clothing, like empty suit, stuffed shirt, and black hat I completely missed out on including in the theme, so that was my mistake. And then Bradley says, Chris also recognized turncoat as a theme answer when he initially solved it, but missed it on his recap. It was symmetrical to black hat, so he only noticed 3 of the 5 theme answers on his theme recap. I'm very sorry about that. I apologize to the crossword constructor for only giving 60% credit to those theme answers, 3 out of 5. I apologize. And thank you for those who pointed it out. Right here, and then Shmoyo has all 5, so I'll just remind myself of those. They were scaredy pants, black hat, empty suit, turncoat, and stuffed shirt. There we go. And then Thor Christensen corrects my mention of box score, which I assumed to be a baseball thing. Apparently not. It's a general sports thing, says Thor. Any sort of structured summary of the results of a sports match is a box score. It generally lists the final score and each player from both teams and their statistics. Having read that, it's one of those things that I do actually think I knew. I just kind of in the moment, because it's not part of my daily vocabulary, I just didn't bring it to mind. So thank you very much for that correction. And I think that's it for now for yesterday's clues. Apologies to anyone I missed and didn't properly prepare today for that section. And I'll be back tomorrow for the Friday puzzle when we dispense with these silly themes and move on to straightforward, difficult crossword solving with no other adulterations to the grid. And I hope you join me for that. So please do return tomorrow for the Friday puzzle, and until then, have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.